Hey everybody, we're on Roots week number 9 still, talking about what a covenant is. And we're going to, in the passage that we read today, we're talking about an issue that is maybe not directly about covenant, but intersects with it in a pretty important way. We're going to talk about temple, or in this case, tabernacle, but those things are related. And so we're at the very last chapter of Exodus, Exodus chapter 40. This is about Moses building the tabernacle. Now, I'm just going to be honest. You should sit down and read this. It'll be good for you, but it's going to be a little bit of a tougher read because it's a whole lot of, you need to put this inside the covenant. You need to put the ark inside of it, and then you need to lay out the table, and then you need to put the lampstand up. It's just a lot of like details and stuff like that. Not like hard to read, like I don't know what this is saying, but it's just kind of tedious. But it is important because it talks about the great detail that went into the place where God met with His people, and so it's important because of that. There's a great video by the Bible Project on Temple. I would really encourage you to watch that one. I think I recommended the Bible Project video yesterday to you, so we're just throwing all of those out there right now. But it would be a really great way to help you understand it. So the tabernacle is basically the tent version of what will be the temple where God dwells with His people. Temple will not come for quite a while. For the time being, God's going to live in what is a tabernacle, a tent, in other words. So that's where He's going to be at this point in time. So let's, I just want to focus in kind of towards the end. In Exodus chapter 40, verses 34 through 35, it says this. It says after they build the tent, that is, it says the cloud covered the tent of meeting and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses was unable to enter the tent of meeting, the same thing as tabernacle, because the cloud rested on it and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. So let's be clear about something. God is omnipresent. That means that He is present in all places. In fact, the Bible makes it very clear that God is never confined to a building. It's not like that's the only place where He is and He's not anywhere else. No, God is everywhere. However, at this point in time, God sets up a special place that is sort of where you go to meet with Him. It's sort of the hot spot, if you will, of His presence. That's what the tabernacle is. So when they build this and they set it up, though, we have a problem. God's glory enters it, and it's not like, wow, this is awesome. It's like, oh no, we can't get close. It's terrifying. We can't enter it. So what are we going to do? How are we going to actually meet with God if we can't even get close to this thing? Well, this really sets up the book of Leviticus, which is going to tell the people exactly how it is that they enter into God's presence, how they can approach Him, how they pray to Him, how they sacrifice to Him, how they do all of these things. We so devalue, I think, the holiness of God. We make Him so common, so just normal, almost like He's just our buddy. Nothing too serious here. But in reality, approaching God is such a serious thing. And I don't think that you'll get what an incredible thing Christ did for us until you realize what it took for somebody to enter into God's presence in the Old Testament. When you read this and you see how intense God's presence is and how hard it is to enter into His presence, it makes the cross all that more beautiful. Because of the cross, we are able to enter God's presence, it says, with boldness. In fact, we ourselves have become temples. That is scandalous, by Old Testament standards. And it just makes you, by reading all this stuff, even though it is tedious and it is weird, it gives you such a better appreciation for what Christ accomplished for us on the cross. I would encourage you to read it. I would encourage you to just praise God for what He did for you in Jesus.